Good morning, everyone. It's pretty awesome when you have technical difficulties first thing in the morning and you're trying to get your show off and running. Honestly, it was my fault. I turned my computer off just because we are in my garage and it gets a little warm out here and I wasn't doing anything on it for a couple of days. I was working on my laptop. Anyway, I turned it off and it takes a little while to run through all the programs and diagnostics, even though it's some super high-end fast video computer, but whatever. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Darts, episode 97. Seriously? We're almost to 100. I'm excited about that. I'm excited that you're here to hang out with me or watching on the replay if that is the case. I do want to give a huge shout out to my sponsors, of course, Shot Darts, and the incredible pieces of art that we get to play with. They have a whole new lineup of really cool barrels. I won't say new lineup, but they're extending to lines like the Viking line. Boris, his barrel, who is a professional darts player who was sponsored recently by them, his barrel is going to be part of the Viking lineup, and there are a few others, and I'm excited to be able to bring those to everyone in the form of reviews, and then of course I'll show them on the show. I'll probably show them a day or two early like I'm not supposed to, but I get yelled at and then they really don't care, so I'll do it anyway. But there's some really cool new stuff coming out from Shot. Excited about that. And of course Magicware, who makes incredible jerseys. This one, which is part of Champ Darts, this is the Canadian one, our North Cadian friends. I'm wearing the North Cadian version today, and of course, this is brought to us by Magicware as well. And that's it. Those are our sponsors currently. And of course, Atomic Darts is a sponsor of Coffee and Darts because it's all the same thing. In essence, it's all the same thing. It's me. But good morning, everybody. Excited that you're here. If you're ready to get it going, let's see a ton 80 there in the comments. Good morning, Jason Watt. Good morning, Larry. Good morning, Kenny. And Jason, you had DM'd me a week or two ago in regards to some stuff, and I apologize for not getting back to you. I think about it a lot, and then I don't actually have something in my hand to text you or to DM you, or I'm not in front of a computer. So my apologies for that, sir. But if you guys don't know who Mr. Jason Watt is, it is the bearded dark guy, which your sticker's on my other mug. He has the really cool, your logo's awesome, man. Really is cool. And I know you got a lot of cool stuff going on. Happy to know you and to watch the growth over the last year. You have certainly done what I have not and taken it to way more of a business than I have. This is much more of just a passion of life for me. So congratulations. And man, it's great seeing what you're doing. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Justin. So today we're going to talk a little bit of past darts and a little bit of future darts. And what do I mean by that? I just want to cover some of the stuff that's happened this past week and some cool stuff that's on the up and coming horizon for darts. And that's the reason why I'm wearing my Champ Darts jersey. If you did not know, there was a tournament this past weekend, and you must have been under a rock. But Champ Darts, Championship Darts Corporation, or Circuit, depending on how you want to go with it, or CDC, if you want to get crazy. The CDC was in Florida. No. So Champ Darts had their first in-person tournament in over a year-ish in Florida this past weekend, and in all honesty, it was a massive success, in my opinion. There were some technical glitches, which I got caught up in, but that's okay. Overall, the tournament was awesome. I have to, really hand it to Peter and Anthony and David. Those are the principal guys that run Championship Darts Corporation. Those are your three principal guys, and they are doing a ton of work with full-time jobs and full-time families to bring darts to a level of PDC style here to the U.S. And, of course, there's all the guys behind the scenes. There are a number of people doing artwork and graphic and getting video up and running, ham-bone darts, and there's just this list. I get the opportunity occasionally to put my face out there or my voice out there in regards to stuff. And they had actually invited me to come to Florida for this weekend to sit in and do some commentary and interview some guys and stuff, and due to some family stuff with my son, who's having just dealing with some issues there. He's really, every day if he goes somewhere, even if he wants to go there, it's a stress for him. And so me being gone for a number of days was really a big thing for him at this point. But he has agreed that I can go to one of the other events this year. So hopefully I'll get over there and get to work with guys. But that event, if you didn't see it, my recommendation in a big way is to go check out any replays you can. Of course, it was played on the PDC.TV, at least the semifinals, finals. I think the quarterfinals might have been on there, whatever. I'm a member of the PDC.TV, of course, and so I just watched it on there. And some really great matches. In day one, Leonard Gates. I'm trying to remember who Leonard was playing. Oh, I can't remember who he was playing. I apologize on that one. But he was down 4-0 at one point. So 3-1. It was 4-0. And it was best of 9. Remember what it was? He had to get to 5. So I don't remember. Yeah, best 9. He had to get to 5. And he rattled off 5. Bing, 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 bing. And ended up in the final on the first day, losing to Danny Lauby, who and was in all 3 finals. There's a guy that is really on this year. Last year was a little iffy. I think the whole staying home thing was a bit for Danny. But this year he is just spitting on fire. Oh my gosh, Scottish Lad, you're the bomb, dude. Thank you. Scottish Lad, I know I just interrupted myself, but jumping in there, Scottish Lad, every time he jumps on the stream, he throws me a couple bucks, because you can do that. You can like donate through this stuff if you're watching on YouTube, and I guess on Facebook you can do the stars. I don't ever ask for any of that stuff, but he always does that, and it's awesome, dude. Thanks, Mr. Scottish Lad. You're the bomb. And if you guys have not watched his reviews, the guy's been doing it for about a year now, a little over a year. And he has come a huge, massive way and has like 100 videos out already. I mean, it's crazy. So go check out Scottish Lad Does Darts Reviews on YouTube. But back to Leonard Gates and that match. That was awesome. And just in general, Leonard made it to 2 finals, winning the 3rd. Danny wasn't able to pull that out, but Danny played lights out. He just was, it's like almost getting to the PDC, Target coming on and backing him, and just some of the things that he has going. It's like he turned it up a notch. It's almost like he went, okay, this is legit. Like, all right. And he tasted PDC life in a big way last year for him. And I think that's a massive goal for him. So congratulations to him on those 2 wins. They are a big deal. He was playing some real heavy hitters out there. As far as USA darts go, the likes of Jeff Springer there. Trying to think, it's just there's a ton of names in my head, and like I literally had a list here of all the players, and I set it aside somewhere. I can't find it, but just the massive number of players that were there from the U.S. contingent that were just phenomenal players. And Danny really, really did really well there. So props to him. I just want to give him some massive props. I got to be very honest. I kind of thought maybe he would do okay, but I didn't really expect him to maybe final but once. It was kind of what I had in my notes. And when I say that, myself and a gentleman, Mark, we were supposed to, and we did record one morning, or what was the opening kind of credits for everything. We did that for Fridays, and unfortunately, either due to it sucking really bad, which is possible. I had a cold last week. I was out for 2 days, and I had to record that during 2 days. I mean, it was out. Like I didn't go to work. I didn't do anything. Like I just shut everything down. My daughter gave me a summer cold, little snot. She gets them, and she's like, I'm playing. I'm good. I'm done. Me, I get them, and I was like, I'm old. I'm not. But we recorded things. So it either sucked really bad, and David just went, you guys suck, and I'm not using that. or there were some technical issues, and I was told it was technical issues. So I'm going to run with that. And then they really didn't need us to do our Saturday and Sunday morning. Like, we had to get up super early and record it, and they were like, hey guys, we're not going to be able to use it. We're just jumping straight into matches. So anyway, I'm going to go with that. But it was awesome. They asked me to be a part of that, and I might have an opportunity to do it again. But hopefully you guys saw some of that. I think Champ Darts put out a great product there. It looked really good. It was part of the PDC, which is massive for us over here in the US. There were a number of, I don't know if it was millions and millions of viewers around the world, but there were definitely hundreds of thousands, if not a million plus people watching US darts, and in a put on in a very good way. And so props to those guys, props to Champ Darts for doing that. That's awesome. And of course, all the other video stuff that's going on. I mentioned Bearded Dart Guy, his stuff is killing it. USA Darts Productions is out there doing stuff. And of course, we have DPFL. Those guys are stuff in Europe. Sorry, my computer's still warming up. That's so weird. It just popped something up. But I don't know of anything in Europe really where you're seeing the online dart play like you do here in America. And I think that's really starting to set us apart. So truly excited to see all the stuff that's going on there. Hambone Darts does some stuff, and there's a number of other guys out there that are putting stuff down. Bruce Robbins. Thank you, Gary Brooks. Yes, he was down to Bruce Robbins. That's right. And Bruce looked pretty good. Bruce looked pretty solid. And yeah, I'll be very honest. I saw Leonard Gates in Las Vegas, and I like Leonard Gates. Please don't get me wrong here. I really like Leonard Gates. He's one of the only-ish professional darts players in the U.S. that actually is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Leonard has like a job like the rest of us do, and most darts professionals. That is his profession. And of course, he's very well known over in Asia. He's like over there. He's like a superstar there that we would consider like a superstar here, as in like if Tom Brady was walking down the street, everybody would know, hey, it's Tom Brady. Leonard Gates goes over to Asia, and the darts community, and even not the darts community, they know who he is. He is a superstar of magnitude over in Asia because of his soft tip play. And so he has a number of solid sponsorships, and I believe, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think he is the only professional darts player that I can think of that doesn't have a job here in the US. That's his solid thing. So I saw him in Vegas, and he was kind of standoffish, and he's kind of that way. If you're not part of his crew, he's a little bit standoffish, and totally understandable. It's kind of a lifestyle. He's used to being that way and having to deal with that. But I did see him there, and I think he played the Cherry Bomb, and I really, in my opinion, I thought he would come in and do okay, but I didn't see him. I personally didn't see him going to a final. I'm going to be honest. When I had my notes, I didn't see him in a final for this past weekend. And of course, he was in two of them. So props to him. He played well. And I think where it really came down to, and he played really well. And I like Leonard Gates. I like him as a darts player. I think he's a great representation of a darts player when he's at the dartboard for sure. So very excited to see that. Yes, Alex Reyes, Gary Brooks, is a big star overseas as well. And he did well. He played well. His personality is so awesome because you don't know who Alex Reyes is. He's a little shorter guy, but he's a big grin, and he's so happy when he's playing darts. And I think everybody, if you look at that, everybody was so excited because we're back playing darts, like press and flesh type of thing. They were just so excited. If you go to social media and if you follow any of the darts players, they all had pictures with all these guys that they were hanging out with. And it was just really cool to see just that love of the sport and the friendship and guys that are West Coast, because West Coast, hanging out with those East Coast guys, whatever. But just that excitement that was going on with all of that. So it was really cool. But I assumed that Danny and Leonard would do well, and the reason I assumed they would do well was they were been playing. So they have gone to where there have been tournaments, where there have been people to play over the last month. They both have played in some heavy tournaments, at least tournaments with some good competition. And I think they came in probably the least rusty of everybody at that tournament. Sorry, I gotta get some water. No coffee this morning. I know. I didn't have time to brew it. It was a crazy morning. But it was I think they came in with the least rust kind of brushed off as far as playing in person. And I assumed that they would do well. I had some other players maybe, getting a little bit deeper than they did, but that's why we play the darts, right? That's why we see what happens. And of course, we saw Danny. Danny just was on. I was like, wow. I mean, I love Danny. And his so quick and nonchalant throw. I just love it. He's blah, and of course he's left-handed, and he just kind of, let me just throw the darts. I love his personality. Got an opportunity to interview him, and he's just such a good dad, family guy, and just his darts has just stepped up. So anyway, Jeff Springer. Yes, Jeff Springer shot amazing this weekend. I was super excited to watch him play. He is a West Coast guy. I have not had an opportunity. I'm hoping I can interview him. We've talked about it at one point via Facebook, but he is such a cool guy. And I know like Jen Mounts and stuff are, they're good friends. And he recently got married. I think it was last year. And just such a good guy. So really good, darts there this weekend. We saw some young guys, some young kids. I'm hoping that Canada will open up. That's why I'm wearing my Canada shirt, trying to give them some love. But hopefully Canada will open up and we can get the Champ Darts Canada part, because of course Championship Darts Circuit or Corporation encompasses North America, so it's Canada and the U.S. But because of the restrictions right now that Canada still has, we couldn't mesh the two together. So this was U.S. and there's going to be 3 U.S. tournaments. We're hoping to get three tournaments over in Canada that are live in person. And then we have the Continental Cup coming up and so forth. Now, I do want to say in regards to match play, that was kind of wrapped up based on the last 2 years' points system. Danny Baggish, of course, he's playing. And then it was kind of wrapped up coming into this weekend, which it's just the way that the system is run and set up. And Darren Young, who's a phenomenal darts player, and I expected him to make a final. I really did. He was the number 1 ranked player. He had dealt with some vertigo last year, which is, he says that it was pretty much done. I talked to him before the tournament. And he said that, the vertigo wasn't a problem. And he did. He played well. But I think it was rust. I think it was, hey, I haven't been to the Aki with other people in a while. And I think that was the thing. And I think over the next, there really aren't any tournaments for him to go play before the World Match Play with Danny Baggish. This is where I think they should have adjusted these rules. They should have almost based it off this one tournament. That's my opinion. They should have based it off this, not looking back over the last 2 years, which is what they do. I would have said, okay, this tournament really determines who's going to go play, because we get to really see in-person play who's there. And I know like Lauby went last time and played well, but he was going based off the fact that he was the Continental Cup winner the year before and so forth. I think this year, this is my opinion, and again, my opinion, nothing against Darren. I think Darren's an awesome guy, and I think Darren's going to play well, and Darren loves it. And he said, he wants to get back to the Alley Pally. He wants to do well in World Championship. That is his goal, is to do that and get back and bump RVB again. But I would send Danny Lauby with Danny Baggish at this point. I think that's the best foot forward for U.S. for the USA contingent for us as a country when it comes to darts at this point in time. Danny just showed that he's got it a little bit more than anybody else. Bottom line. That's my opinion, but I don't make the rules, and the rules state that it's based a point system that's based off of the last 2 years. And so Darren Young is going now. It's Darren Young, who has played internationally a number of times and is a great darts player. And he will be ready to play, and he and Danny Baggish will do really well. I'm hoping that the U.S. can push further along. I'm hoping to see Canada push further along as well. I think it should be Matt Campbell again and Jeff Smith. And we should see that contingent really go deeper this year. So I'm excited for World Cup coming up. So, yes, Chuck Polo is he's a great player as well, Scottish lad. He did really well. And again, here's another guy that's just got this like bounce about him. He's just always happy when he's playing the darts and hanging out with people. And so just a lot of great guys out there. Hey, Charlie Gray, how are you? Matthew Harper, how am I doing? Other than I'm still kind of a little snotty from my cold from last week, I'm doing pretty good. Great weekend of darts. So Shane says that he thinks Danny is a future top 32 player. I'm gonna go with Danny Lauby. I think Danny, once he gets to the PDC and he gets settled, he's gonna do well. I think he's gonna do well. So I'm excited for that one. I think Matt Campbell again is another guy who this past week on the developmental tour for the PDC, of course, winning. So we're talking about darts this past. We're gonna talk future here in a minute. But he won the first day, and then I think it was the third day. Did they have 4 days? I don't remember. It's a blur right now. But he went to the finals again. So good morning, Bigfoot Shaber. Hey, Bigfoot Shaber. I know I'm just whatever. I'm supposed to send you a set of darts, the B-52s, for being on the show, which again, thank you. If you guys didn't catch that last week, but Bigfoot Shaber was on. We talked darts. And just a great guy to hang out with and chat. But I can't remember if I was supposed to send you soft tip or steel tip. And so if you could just remind me, I'll get them out today. I got that cold, and yeah, that was pretty much it for me. So anyway, I'm excited to see where US darts goes. I think we've got these great players that are coming around. As always, we just need to get some money backing. So any of you out there that are working with some massive companies that can just make that happen, let's make it happen. Let's get some money into the sport, get these players paid so they don't have to work other jobs and they can just do darts. It's going to be awesome. And there's, thanks, Bigfoot. I'll get those out today. There are some young, talented gentlemen that are coming. Jacob Womack, just throwing that name out there. Jacob Womack, who is a young gentleman who Champ Darts has their development tour, their junior tour, which, by the way, there is going to be events this year for them, so that's awesome. So again, bringing people up. But Jacob Womack, I think it's like 21 and under is how it's graded. But 2 years ago, 2019, won every single event. I mean, that's just where this kid's ability is, and so I'm excited to see him grow as well, and I think he's going to be a superstar at some point if he stays with the darts. So, all right, up and coming stuff. Well, we do have Champ dart stuff coming up. So I'm going to just click here real quick and see if anything's popped up and I can read it off to you guys. But again, really good stuff. Danny winning back-to-back was awesome, which was really cool. So Chris White was there. I don't want to not mention Chris because I'm a big Chris White fan. So there are some names that you guys may have seen that were there that you're like, well, wait a second, aren't they Canadian? But they had determined that they were going to be U.S. players. So that's why you may have seen some players that in past you may have thought were Canadian players, but they have said we're playing U.S. And I think part of that just really had to do with the fact that we're a little more open. Like Chuck did, of course, well. Larry Butler, I always love watching Larry Butler play. I think they should have Sharon commentate when Larry's playing. Hopefully Sharon's not watching this right now, but Larry, I love watching Larry play. He's just yeah, man. I like some of the older guys that just really have some good, cool stuff going on with the darts. But here's what we got coming up just real quick on Champ Darts. I know I've spent quite a bit of time on it. It was good darts. I was so excited to see it. July 23rd, we do have the Cosmo Darts match play for Champ Darts, and that's in the Music City Classic. It's going to be in Nashville. That's July 23rd. So coming up real soon. I will be camping, I think, or something. I know we're going camping this week, and then we're doing a family camp at the end of the month. So I won't be at that one, which kind of sucks, but I'll be with my family, so that'll be cool. And then in Friday, September 3rd, this is one where I'm hoping to get to. It's the Champ Darts. I can't say CDC. It drives me nuts, but the CDC shootout in Sterling, Virginia. So if you want to be hot, sticky, head on over to the CDC shootout. That's Friday, September 3rd is when that starts. So there's some stuff that's up and coming. I don't know if there's any junior tour dates that are out or evolution tour dates that are out just yet. I want to say I saw them, but anyway, we're going to jump into the PDC real quick. So the World Match Play, of course, is coming up. Cha-ching! Very excited about that. We have, it looks like Vanderberg and Peterson are scheduled for opening night. That's going to be pretty cool. Menser, if you did not hear, Menser has bowed out just for some medical reasonings. So he kind of gave up his spot. And Jeremy Waddemeter, who has slimmed down, I don't know, like they do it by stones, but he has dropped a couple stones and looks really fit getting there. He has stepped up into his place. So excited to have PDC Darts back as well. And of course, they've got people like watching. That's kind of all back to the norm. I think there are a couple tournaments though that are coming up where there's still a little, like tickets are available if you're over there and dealing with it. And if you happen to be from across the pond and you watch this show, tickets are, I think tickets for Premier League, I think are already actually out for next year. Blackpool tickets are available. And then the World Grand Prix stuff is tickets are starting to open up for that. So excited for some of that stuff. And then if you go to, in regards to PDC, I want to talk a little bit about, they just had their, the Players Championship with Super Series 5, where we saw, like Peter Wright won the last day, which was good. We saw a couple people, Chris Dobie, get his first win, which was, that's a guy you would think that had won a couple of times. He had not. He'd come close. He's done well in majors, but Chris Dobie finally got his first win on tour, and so excited for him in regards to that. I think day one was who won day one? Why am I blanking? That's horrible. That's why I love you guys being around here, because you guys keep me straight on who won. But that was really, there were some good darts there as well. We saw one or two 9-darters. And so excited to see, PDC darts and just darts in general starting to push forward this year. We've got, darts over here starting to work. We've got darts in Europe really kind of back. We're going to start seeing tournaments on the regular again. So really excited about that. Dynamite Dave is here. What's up, Dynamite Dave? By the way, if you guys want a little bit of help with your throw or want to understand the throw, Dynamite Dave is definitely the guy to talk to. Go check his stuff out. Dax as well. I don't want to not say Dax. But Dax and Dynamite Dave are two guys, Dax being here in America, and then Dynamite Dave over in Europe are two phenomenal guys to gain knowledge on your stance, your grip, your throw. But I will say one thing when it comes to this and most anything, and I know Angela Mills does some coaching as well. But, Bunting day one, that's right. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gary Brooks. Bunting was day one. I'll get back to that. But if you're looking for coaching, I will say, find someone that you mesh well with and stick to their system. Because Dynamite Dave and Dax are going to do some things a little bit differently. And not that either one's wrong or right. It's just a matter of, Dynamite Dave has his system, and his system works within his system. Dax has his system, and his system works within his system. If Angela's doing some coaching stuff, she's got her way of doing it. And you can't bounce back and forth. It's just like learning any skill. You can't go to 5 masters and expect to be good. You've got to go to one and learn their system and do their system, and then you'll find yourself after 10,000 hours. Remember that, 10,000 hours of doing something. There you go. So I would highly recommend that you check them out if you're looking for some help with some stuff. And yes, Bunting won. That's right. I'm excited about that too, especially with match play coming up. I think that's going to be cool. I'll talk real quickly about some of the matchups there. But Stephen Bunting, I think it was it's been 5 years for a win for him. And a lot of people don't get, he is a world champion, BDO, but nonetheless, still a world champion, and really those little 12-ounce darts, man, he knows how to flick those things around and do some exciting stuff with them. And when he's on, he did well in the Worlds this past year, got deeper than anybody expected, and really had a chance at making the finals. When he's on, he's world championship quality because he's got a star. But I like him. I think it's one of those guys that just seems, when he's on, he's happy about it. But I'll tell you, the last 2-3 years, up until World Championship, the last 2 years prior to that, you would watch him and you almost wanted to root against him because he just looked so unhappy. You could see he was like, I'm here playing darts. You could tell he was ready to throw in the towel. And then World Championships last year, ending this year, with Gerwyn Price winning world champion. Don't forget, Gerwyn Price is world champion. Roy Collins in your dress. Just want to point that out again. Gerwyn Price, world champion. But I will say, Stephen Bunting, like that, you could tell, like he just got so jacked for darts again. And it shows. And of course, he gets that win. So I'm excited to see where he goes this year. So excited about that. What did I say I was going to get back into? Well, maybe it was Bunting. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. And Dynamite Dave does say that I'm spot on. Cha-ching! I'm done. We're out. Dynamite Dave said but he did say you're spot on, buddy. Bouncing from one technique to another is worse than just figuring them out. But many players are looking for utopia, and sorry, it doesn't exist. This is very true. It does not exist. The greatest player in any sport will tell you that it took 10,000 plus hours to get to where they're at. So put in the time, put in the effort, and you yourself can get as good as you possibly can in 10,000 hours, because you're never going to be better than anybody but yourself. Just remember that. Sometimes your betterness is better than somebody else's betterness at that given time, but everybody can be beat. Just remember that too. There's a lot of kids running around thinking that they can't be beat, like my son, and then they get beat and then they cry about it. Man, that's some good water today. Loving that. Speaking of Gerwyn Price, I have this beautiful picture up on my wall. It is what was referred to as Fight Night. It is Daryl Gurney versus Gerwyn Price, which of course they went 7-7. But it was an awesome night. It's the two of them getting ready to, and it's signed. So man, I love that photo. It's awesome. I don't remember where I purchased that, but I was super happy to get my hands on it. It wasn't that expensive either. So let's talk about, let me see if I can pull this up here real quick. I had it over here. Let me just pull this real quick. Doing stuff while I'm talking to you guys. I want to talk a little bit about matchups for this upcoming weekend's tournament with the PDC, but I've just got to look the matchups up. You would think I would have that, huh? There's ticketing. So, and just to remind you guys, Dimitri Vandenberg did win that last year. If you did not remember that, the young gun himself, Dancing Dimitri, and he is castless this year. So we'll see how he does in regards to that. Oh, here we go. It's kind of cool when it's right in front of you. So just to remind you guys that Vanderberg, who sensationally won the title in Milton Keys in 2020, will walk onto the iconic Winter Garden stage for the first time on Saturday, July 17th. So that is this weekend, and he is taking on Mr. Peterson, the African Warrior, which that's going to be a great matchup yeah, that's going to be super awesome. If Peterson is banging at that 60, like we know he can, and he's got the fire in him, like World Championships this past year, up against Gary Anderson. I was about to say Gary Andrews. But against Gary Anderson, it's like he just turned off the fire of the Warrior, and he lost that, and he shouldn't have. If he comes with the fire, I think he wins that. I think Dimitri gets bumped out right away, and that's kind of it's just my opinion. I think he wins it. So here, let's talk about Saturday. Who we've got? We've got Dave Chisnell against Vincent van der Voort, who, of course, has been playing well and is in his own right a very good darts player. I know a lot of people say that because of him and MVG being from the same country, and they've kind of been with the same manufacturers, and they kind of it's like he almost follows MVG around. Well, I don't know how much of that is so true, and especially these days. By the way, MVG has not won this year. Bottom line, but Vincent van der Voort, when he's on, he's a tall guy, got a good throw. He's got some fire in him. So that's going to be a good one, because if Chizzy's on as well, everybody knows Chizzy can score. Chizzy can score like a madman. So I'm excited to see that one. That's a good just starting it off match. And then we have Johnny Clayton against Derek van der Bode. It's a lot to say right there. I don't know where to go with that. I really don't. I mean, Johnny, of course, has been on fire, but there's a break there. I don't know. What do you guys think on that one? That's a coin flip for me. Normally I want to say, yeah, Johnny Clayton's going to wipe that one up, but Derek's been good, and he's in his, I don't know. It's going to be a tough one. And then we have Gerwyn Price against Jeremy Watermeiner. Gerwyn Price wins that. Gerwyn's going to come out on fire, looking to just go to town. Sorry, but Gerwyn takes that. The worst thing is I'm going to be camping. I got to figure out how I'm going to watch this stuff. Yeah. And then we have Dimitri van der Voort against Devin Peterson. And if Devin comes out with just a good, just that fire within him, he takes that. Sorry. Now, Dimitri's, of course, he practices a lot with Peter Wright. He's got a great demeanor when he's at the Aki. I just think if Devin can just come out and just, work the crowd and be super excited about it, I think that's a win for him. That's kind of a coin toss, just like the Johnny Clayton Dirk match for me. And then Sunday we've got Krzysztof Rutkowski against Brendan Dolan. Now Brendan's been playing well at the beginning of this year and in last year, but I think Krzysztof, who is a phenomenal, just super good at putting the arrows where he wants to. And I think Krzysztof goes deep into this tournament, and I think he wins that. Then we have Glenn Durant against Callan Rides is how I read it, and I like Callan. He takes that. I think Glenn's, unless something's changed for Glenn, Callan's going to take that. And Callan's been playing well again last year into this year. Then we have Rob Cross against Ross Smith. It's funny, Rob Cross. I want to take a second just to talk about that, and I got to look at comments. Peter for Blackpool, I think. Okay. Rob Cross, everybody's kind of over the last couple of years, because he came out and just was the shining star. I mean, he won World Championship, his first, essential attempt. It was really it was this coming out party, and like everybody was like, oh my gosh, this guy's gonna be the next big thing. He's gonna dethrone MVG. He's it. And he kind of faltered. I think just the limelight, he wasn't ready for it. He kind of faltered. And then he's done well in particular major tournaments where he has won. And that keeps him in that standing, and it keeps him money-wise in the standing. And everybody says every year, okay, he's coming around, he's getting there, he's coming around, he's getting there. And I think that's been a disservice for him. I think everybody kind of filling him and saying certain things has been a disservice. He needed to grow into the PDC sport and into the limelight. He was kind of shoved in there. And it's kind of like NFL quarterbacks. We get these quarterbacks that come out of college and we're like, yeah. And then we don't sit them and we just throw them out there and they get crushed. And we go, you sucked all along. And it's like, well, wait a second. Had he come in and, gotten a little bit of help, or sat a year and saw what the deal was, would have made a huge, huge difference in his career. Patrick Mahomes, just saying, I think letting him ride the pine for a year was the best thing ever for the Chiefs. And that's why we're going to win 10 world championships with Patrick. Sorry there, Patriots and Bucks fans. We're going to take that. But it's a matter of allowing someone to mature within it. I really think, my opinion, he's had some time to mature. He's felt the ups and downs. I think this is a year that is a make or break for him. I think he either does really well this year, and he's learned what he needs to learn, or he's going to find himself faltering, and it's not going to be a whole lot of fun for him. So, just saying, that's what I think in regards to where Rob Cross is at. But I think he wins this one over Ross Smith. So, yeah. Then we have James Wade against Luke Humphreys. I'm excited about this one in the fact that the personality types where they are. Of course, Luke Humphreys, who isn't that young, but of course has won the youth when he was 25, which, that's the rules. So good for him. He's a little older than that now. He's had some success on the PDC. He can carry his own, but it is James Wade. And here's the thing is, Wade wins this unless he's just not mentally there. Whether that's a medication thing or whatever that might be, whatever gets him mentally prepped, that's the only way Luke wins that. I think game to game, James Wade is just he's gonna play the outs the way he needs to, and he's gonna take Luke Humphreys on that. I think that's a blowout in my opinion. Then let's go to the next day, which are the evening rounds of Sunday. We have Joe Cullen against Chris Dobie. So Joe Cullen, who, when he's on, is a stud, and he's proven that, and he does well in big tournaments. Chris Dobie coming off that win, and Chris again in major tournaments goes deep. This is a coin flip for me. It really is. I think there's some rust for Joe Cullen to shake off, and so it's a coin flip for me. The next one, Michael Smith, Ryan Searle. This is, to me, the match of the night. I think Ryan takes Michael Smith, and Dylan being a huge Michael Smith fan, and I love Michael Smith and how he plays. If he's not on fire and with it, he's out of this one because Ryan has been playing lights out for a while now. He loves throwing those 800-pound darts, and he's figured out how to throw them consistently. And so Ryan comes in and just rocks the metal all over Michael Smith. Unless Smith comes in form and has his head on straight, which is his biggest issue. His ability to play darts is phenomenal. It's just where his head's at. So then we have Peter Wright against Danny Norbert. I think Peter Wright wins this. Peter's there. Peter wants to get back to the world championship. I think this is a year where he's going to really push, and we're going to see the good Peter Wright playing darts. And I think for Danny, who again, great young darts player going up against Peter Wright in some regards. That's kind of gives Peter just that edge because a lot of people younger coming in and playing someone like Peter or Gerwin Price or some of these little bit better known names that have been world, that have stars on their shirts. There's always this, oh, I'm playing Peter Wright. And then you got to get over that. But, Danny's a guy that could do it, but I think Peter wins that. Then we have Jose de Sousa against Gabriel Clemens. Two big guys with, don't take this wrong, but no personality when they're at the Aki. Neither of them show any signs of anything. They should be playing poker. You're not going to see a smile from either of them. You're not going to see a frown from either of them. You're probably not even going to see a look from either of them. It's just going to be. That's what we're going to see for that whole thing. And it could take 2 to 3 hours to play that match. That's a hard one to say, but right now Jose's just on fire. I mean, the double 40 out was pretty awesome. Or did he go 40? No, it was double. Yeah. But so I think Jose de Sousa takes that. And then we get into Gerald Garner, Ian White. Gerald Garner wins that. Nathan Aspinall against Mervyn King. That's a good one. That's kind of a coin flip. But I'm going to go Nathan Aspinall over Mervyn. But if Mervyn's, that. MVG against Damon Hedda. I'm sorry. MVG goes out first round. Damon, I think, is going to be on fire and take that out. Then we have Gary Anderson against Stephen Bunting. Again, it depends on which one of the two of them shows up. If Gary's okay and Stephen is definitely the type of guy to play him, or for him to play really well because Stephen doesn't show any exuberance or anything. He can occasionally. He can, and if Stephen's smart, he will. He'll get into Gary's head a little and play that. So that's an interesting one. That's a coin flip. And then we get into all the other breakdowns for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We get into all the wonderful stuff, and I can't wait for that. So there is a breakdown of some of the stuff coming up for the World Match Play starting this weekend. So there we have it. There we go. There is some up-and-coming cool dart stuff for you guys. Let me know who... Yes, Ross did win his first title on his Flying High, but Cross takes it. Thank you, Gary Brooks. That is correct. Yeah, Ross won his first title as well this past week. So some exciting stuff in the world of darts. We have darts back kind of in full swing starting as of last week with Champ Darts. So they kind of kicked off our season, in my opinion. And again, those guys did a phenomenal job. Well, everybody, it has been a blast covering what happened and what's on the way. And I get to cover some cool new dart products that are coming out. And to be very honest, guys, I have stuff sitting here that A to Z Darts, like Jen sent me a bunch of stuff. She's like, just review it when you get to it. And I feel bad because I haven't done a review in a month. I have these boxes sitting here. Those are from Viper Darts, and they are some of the coolest dart backdrops. And in my mind, I have this really cool, funky infomercial style review to do, which I'm going to try and get done, at least filmed this week. Kids are busy, and that's the biggest problem when summer hits. One, it's super freaking hot where I shoot, which is in this garage. I need to add AC to the garage and close up the ceiling and put insulation and do all that. And that's on the books to do, but probably not till next year. But and then the kids are normally here with friends, and it makes it super hard to film something. I've tried doing it. It's crazy. I've tried to get them involved, and they'll be involved for like a minute or two, and then they just want to go make noise, and it just doesn't work out. I'd love to have like Dylan do these things because that would my views would shoot up because everybody thinks he's cute. They don't like me. But I've got that cool stuff sitting there. I got this pile of stuff over here. I've got the new Colonial dartboard, which is really an awesome dartboard. That's from A to Z Darts. It's their brand. I've got the Arc Dart setup, which is from Target, which is super cool. I've got some cases that are super nice. Just all kinds of really cool product that I need to get out so you guys can see it. And then Shot just shipped me yesterday stuff for their new lineup. So look for stuff to come. I'm going to try, and this week kids are busy the next 2 days, but we're going camping Thursday. So I'm going to try and squeeze in at least one review on some of this stuff. But there is cool product out there. The Viper product, I really want to show you that, and I feel bad for those guys because they sent that to me. I didn't even ask They just sent it to me and said, hey, can you take a look at this for us and review it? And it's a really cool backdrop. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to ruin the cool little infomercial thing I'm going to do with it, but it's pretty cool. So stuff coming. Cool darts coming this weekend. I think F1's back this weekend. So darts and, oh, shoot. I got to figure out how I'm going to watch F1 while I'm camping and darts. I guess I'm not going to hang out with the family. I'm going to be at the little cabin place because we're tent camping. Like literally, like you see all the junk back here. This is us getting ready for camping. And some of my wife's stuff too. But like we tent camp, which is crazy with kids. It's nuts. Don't do it. But they have a really cool cabin there with Wi-Fi. And so that's where Dada will be with his Guinness and his coffee. And they make coffee in Guinness. So I might just be Guinnessing all weekend long. Guinness is my new drink. I have to say, oh, let me show you this thing. Where is it? Oh, this is really cool. I just got this in the mail. Hold on one second. This is pretty cool. I know I'm all over the place today, guys. Sorry. Check this out. Dart for a Guinness. That's pretty cool, huh? That's going to go up on the wall. Yeah, I'm back to like I liked Guinness for a millisecond back in the day, and I'm finishing up a book on the Guinness family, and I'm like, these guys are so awesome. I got to try Guinness again, and this nitro infused stout is phenomenal. It's smooth and creamy. It's the nitrogen stout. It's really good, and then the coffee version. Oh my gosh! So I'm back to Guinness being my beer of choice. Yeah, so there we go. That's what's going on. Dave's manager has just reached out to me on LinkedIn, so may turn out interesting. What's Dave? Who? Dynamite Dave? Who's Dave? What are we talking about? Huh. Dave, you might be interested in a review from today's Eric Bristow style. Oh, Scottish Light has another review out, so check that out. Peter Wright for Blackpool. Yes, Lee Burton, I'm agreeing with you. Colin is hungry. He wins handily. Nice. You think so? I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. So, guys, thanks again for hanging out with me today, talking darts. We will be talking darts again next Tuesday. I've got some interviews kind of in the talking wraps, trying to get a couple guys from the Champ Darts to come in and talk. I might be able to get Danny Laube to sneak in and just talk about what happened this past weekend. But there are some conversations that they're trying to put together and some other players out there. So look for that as well within this stuff. We're coming up on our 100th issue. And all I can say is I have nothing planned for it. So I got to try and figure that out too. But excited for this week of darts. Thanks, guys, for hanging out and watching. Hit me up on all the socials. Love to chat with everybody. That's pretty much it for today. Thanks, guys. Don't forget to check out Shot Darts and all the cool stuff that Shot is bringing. Go check out their website, shotdarts.com. And I think they've got some conversations of some of the new stuff that's coming out, but there's some really cool new barrels. And, of course, Magicware. Go talk to Jen Mounts. She loves to talk darts as well. But she also designed some incredible jerseys. So if you need a one-off for yourself, or if you just want an off-the-shelf one, Magicware's got that. Or if your team needs some, because again, we are back to playing darts. And as your teams go to tournaments, you should be getting new darts, new shirts for each one of those. And if you need some darts too, head up A to Z. Why not? I like the guys over at A to Z, and of course, they're an American company. So everybody bitches about pricing, but the bottom line is the money stays here, and it helps them grow the sport here in America. And they spend a lot of money helping promote darts, and they spend a lot of money on youth darts. So if it costs you a couple bucks more, it's well worth it because it's actually helping you out, because they're working on trying to bring bigger money to the sport. Believe it or not, they actually are out talking with some big companies to help bring that money in for tournaments and for the sport as a whole. John Baxter loves darts, loves the community of darts, takes care of his employees and as takes care of the darts community. So no more bitching about pricing at A to Z. I'm just going to lay it out there right now. Spend a little couple bucks more because that money's being used for you. So bottom line, you got to pay your taxes, and that money doesn't go to you. At least here, when you spend your money, it does go to you. All right, I said it. I've always wanted to say that and get on my soapbox. Hey guys, have a great day. I'll talk with you later. See ya.